This is a Jmix exclusive.
Yeah.
Hey man, what's up, dude?
What up with you, Jmix?
Same old shit, different day. I take it you saw the Edie thing.
What? The fucking, with you and BJ?
Did you say my video? I'm sorry, you're breaking up a little bit.
I'm saying, which video, with you and BJ, or the one where he was, on Fox?
Oh, the one where he was on Fox, changing a story,
yeah.
lying.
Yeah, I seen that shit. You fucking loser.
Everybody seems to be rewriting history now. I don't understand it.
Well, I mean, that's what the power of a dollar would do. Once they was so in tune with Pac because he was the golden child taking everybody to the promised land. And then his death ultimately became what was more important, but because with that, then they could just, they didn't have to answer to nobody, and they could dictate it the way they want to make the shit prolong as long as they need it without having to answer to him.
Yeah, dude, if it wasn't for Tupac, these guys would be working at a fucking window washer place or something.
Yeah, most of these guys wouldn't. I mean, Noble would still be cutting hair.
Did you want to go, and set up another Skype interview to air them out?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Well, what's your talking points so I'm a little bit prepared when we do it, and let me know when you want to do it tonight. I should be home for good tomorrow, so I can set it up, do it from my computer, and do it right. The phone interviews are shit, and without me being out there with a camera crew, Skype is the best way to do it. But I'm moving out west in January. I'm moving to fucking Idaho, believe that shit or not. But I'm real close. It's about an 8.5-hour drive into LA, so half the time will be spent in California, half the time in Idaho. So that way I'll be able to do more of a Vlad TV type setup with everybody.
You moving to Boise? Okay, I lived in Boise for like 2 years.
How was it, man? I've never even been there.
I loved it, man. I loved it. I mean, my son was born there. My 2-year-old was born there. And, I only came back because, man, some bullshit happened with the custody of my son. But other than that, I wouldn't have never came. I mean, I always kept my spot in LA, but that's like Idaho is where it's at when you just, when you already, got your shit going.
Yeah, no, sorry, my girl's just walking in. I figured, dude, I live in Illinois. I live about 45 minutes outside Chicago. And what's happening is all the prisoners, they send them here to a prison called Henry Hill. And then their families come here. And now the town that I grew up in, it's now like a prison town. And crime, dude, the crime rate here is ridiculous. Just 2 nights ago, I had someone in my basement at 3 o'clock in the morning. Someone home invaded me, and I'm like checking on my kids and shit. I've got a pistol in my hand and shit. I'm checking on my kids, dude. I go downstairs and the fucking back door's wide open. Someone's running down my fucking driveway, and I'm like, enough of it. I can't raise my kids around this shit.
Wow, man.
With the Chicago stuff that's going on, it's starting to move south. And a lot of people, I hope I can speak freely with you. Dude, a lot of people are blaming black people for this. It's not black people. There's Mexican drug cartels in Illinois. That's why the violence is like it is in Chicago. It's because of the Mexican cartels and the drugs they're running up here.
Right.
And it's starting to spread, and I have 3 daughters, dude, and there's no fucking way I can let them grow up in this shit. I have to leave.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
But, I mean, obviously on my channel, dude, you have freedom to say whatever the fuck you want. You can say whatever you want. But, can you kind of give me some talking points?
Shit, I really wanted to discuss Ice-T's sentiment towards Tupac. Like, what the fuck was that all about?
Yeah.
Like, he seemed like he had a grudge, and he just, you know, threw Pac under the bus numerous times and tried to make all the East Coast guys look like, you know, they weren't involved, which he lives out there. He's been living out there since fucking New Jack City. He's had his house out here, but, you know what I mean, he's always been a guy that's trying to emulate a New York guy. Like, he ain't really known out. I mean, people know him, but he's not really like the guy who was a street guy out here. He was like, you know, hello, how are you? I mean, it just, you know, it was just a couple of things that I wanted to touch on, you know what I mean, in terms of, what else?
No. Not, sorry to interrupt, but I've got you. Yeah, dude, honestly, with the Ice-T thing, he started that shit on Drink Champs before that special even came out, talking about Hit 'Em Up. Ice-T was slamming Tupac on Drink Champs, and then this fucking show comes out, and, dude, when I saw them roll Funk Flex out on that show, dude, I was fucking pissed. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. It seemed to me that the whole first hour of that show was nothing but let's shit on Tupac. Let's just shit on Tupac. And now they're coming out with their own magic bullet theory to where only one shot was fired, but Tupac was hit 4 or 5 times, that someone else was shot. It's all bullshit. I don't know what their fucking reasoning is for that. But to me, it's like I said with rewriting history. Only, dude, I feel you when you say the Ice-T hating. It does, dude. I was tweeting at him pretty hardcore, but he wasn't responding to me.
And you know what else I'm thinking?
What's that?
I'm thinking that they're about to give Sugar bail. And it's going to be high, but all these little things that are popping up with, you know, him having something to say that's just totally ironic, and then having some flunky that I just told you wasn't a guy that's like super connected with street guys in Los Angeles, Ice-T. So he would be the perfect flunky for Suge to get to do all this shit with just enough star power so when people would listen and gain some money up to you know, get his bail together.
Yeah.
You got Whack 100 running around talking about we're about to get Suge out. And I mean, it's just funny, bro.
Well, here, a funny thing is I know Suge's fiance, Toy, who was just indicted. I talked to her quite a bit because I was trying to land a Suge Knight interview. And they had that $25 million bail. But the problem is they could, I guess LA is making them vet the money. They want to know where the money's coming from. And because it's not legal money, they couldn't post his bail. But if they get someone like an Ice-T, you see what I'm saying? Then they can vet the money and he will get out on bail. So what you're saying to me makes a lot of fucking sense.
Yep.
Now, I'm sorry, I don't mean to talk over you.
I was saying that it would have no other reason. Like I was there, like unless Pac fucked one, like Ice-T had his first wife, Darlene, and she was super fucking bad, but she was, you know, a little bit promiscuous at times.
Yeah, like most women.
Exactly. All I'm saying is it's a possibility that, you know, the only other explanation that I could see for Ice-T's motivation for how, you know, it was a reasoning behind that. Is maybe Pac done something with his ex-wife or something and I don't know about it or something.
Yeah.
You know, that's like, I'm trying to find reasoning why anything other than the Suge theory.
I don't think that Suge Knight had Tupac killed.
Of course not.
Now,
Hell no.
was it Orlando Anderson? Do you know?
Yeah, I do know. And supposedly it was them. But here's the thing, what I'm saying. All that shit that Orlando Anderson's uncle was talking, he's not fucking lying. But here's the thing though. Those guys, listen, when the chain got snatched and all that shit at the mall,
Yeah.
all that shit was orchestrated by Tucky saying he'll give some money for a death row chain. You know that, right?
Yes, yeah, actually one of the producers, Kurt Cobain, told me that. He said there was a bounty out on him from
for the chain.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen. So now we have that theory, which is not a theory, it's true. I knew the guy who actually the chain got snatched from. His name was Trey, or his name is Trey. It was Suge Knight's assistant.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that happened, and Orlando Anderson is the one that snatched the chain. Now, how much of a coincidence do you think this is, and how close do you think guys are just able to just run into death row members all the time like that? Like, if that wasn't off, feel me? Especially running into a rival. So now you have Orlando snatching this chain from Trey. Do you really think that he's going to walk into he knew that they were going to be at the MGM. He knew exactly where they was. You think he's going to walk right into a hornet's nest?
Oh, shit. Oh, I get it.
He's prepared to fucking get assaulted. They wanted to do that night. They wanted that meal, that $1 million. They needed an opportunity. They needed a reason. They didn't want this to be documented. They wasn't rappers. He probably would have went to jail for something insignificant. You know what I mean? This shit it's crazy because now you have these niggas on some shit like this. They Southside Crips, right? But they want to be cool with Suge Knight and them at the time. They didn't want no problems with them. They knew they couldn't get no long-term money from Puffy. You feel me?
Yeah.
So what TPD's intention was look, they snatched the chain and you know what I mean, didn't get the motherfucking $50,000 from Puffy. Did not get the money. Right?
Yeah.
So now, when they snatched the chain and didn't get the money, this is where all the shit started coming up. You know, come talk to me. I'll give you $1 million to do this and do that. But the Southside niggas is looking at them sideways like you already didn't give us the money. That's why they walked up to him like they did at the fucking automotive museum. Like, dude, what's up? You feel me? And Biggie like, nah, fuck it. They cool. Let them through. But if it was all love, it wouldn't have been no let them through. They would have been expecting them. But the Southside dudes pulled up on them. Unexpected. What I'm saying is,
I feel you. I know what you're saying.
These motherfuckers did not get that $1 million. They didn't get the $50,000. So after all this shit was taking place, the same dude who snatches the chain, he's right there just conveniently in the fucking lobby. Like, no, he wanted them to see it. And either they was, you know, the Suge knew them. He knows these people. They wanted to squash the beef. So it was either, you know, Puffy put this money on your head. Let me talk to you. Says, I don't believe you. A nigga get the fuck away from me or whatever. He's like, man, I'm telling you. So he shows up again. Like, you know, I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to tell you. And in the midst, like, no, nigga, this Trey's like, that's the nigga that snatched my chain. Like, what? And bing, 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 bing. Why it's crazy, dude. It's crazy. You feel me? But it's obvious that the nigga Puffy did not give the niggas the money. Or the pop shit. And that's why they showed up at the fucking museum and Biggie got hit too that night. Because they didn't have any money. And they had already done whatever they done to Pop, you feel me, and started the hornet's nest. And Puffy, you know, thought they was playing. And they wasn't. Both times. You feel me? But Whack 100 just told you that when he was like, you can look up the Whack 100. He fucks with the Game, who used to be managed by Jimmy Henchman.
Yep.
The Game's ex-manager before Whack was managing him was Jimmy Henchman.
Yeah, I know.
So all this information is Brandy and Hennessy talk when they smoking around talking. This dude is from New York. He's from where, you know what I mean? So when he said, Puffy know what happened. It was from the hands of an LA dude, but by the bags of a dude from NY, from Harlem, New York. You feel me?
Yeah, and now the dudes from New York are getting the final word on Tupac.
This is what I'm saying. They got all, I mean, it's kind of like a big fuck you at the end. Feel me? Puffy is the man who killed hip-hop. Because ultimately he got Big killed. This is why he wasn't scared to come back to Cali. Puffy wasn't scared to come back to Cali. Big was nervous as shit. Like, why are we going back? That doesn't make no sense. Puffy was like, I got this. Come on, man. I mean, it's not fucking rocket science. But it's the money that these detectives at that high of a level, when you start trying to bring in Sean Puffy Combs on a murder, they shutting that case down. They don't want no parts of that shit, especially over somebody that's already dead, unless the captain wants to write a book or some shit. If I say that I knew for sure, then I would be called a snitch.
Yeah.
And I could never be called a snitch. So it'd always be speculation. But I mean, it doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist.
Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna rewatch that bullshit special. And if you want, I mean, I'll send you some of my talking points in advance, just something maybe if you want to look over so you can be like, you know, you'll know where I'm going. I ain't gonna. Man,
I watch all your videos faithfully. I'm subscribed, so anytime you put up anything new, it goes right to my phone. I watch it.
Well, I appreciate that. Wow. Something I want to say me to you is I think that, and you've never done this to me, but I feel like I need to say this to you. The channel that I run is dedicated to Tupac. So if someone wants to come on there and they want to talk about Tupac, or they want to, hey, I solved Tupac's murder, or whatever it is, I give them the platform to talk about Tupac. But I think some other people get it confused that because I talk to people and hear what they have to say that I side with them.
Right.
I want you to know, and this has nothing to do with actually the death of Tupac, that when L.T. Hutton's interview went up, him talking shit about you was cut the fuck out of the interview. Just so you know. I cut that shit. And I missed one, but it was a slip because it was a sneak diss. He said in one I published, he said some of these people said that they were around, but you can ask the people that worked at the desk. And I didn't catch that when I was editing it because I cut out the part where he says your name, which was like, LT has diarrhea in the mouth. The motherfucker has no idea how to have a conversation. He just talks.
Right.
So.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. I probably missed that one. Feel me?
It was a little sneak diss that I didn't realize and made it through. I don't like LT Hutton. I don't like him because I don't trust him. He wouldn't talk to me. He wouldn't talk to me until your interview came out. Then he wanted to talk to me. Right,
because he wants to clear his name up. But another thing about that, bro, Snoop Dogg really ended up getting the money from the Tupac thing.
Snoop Dogg got the money from the Tupac what?
LT Hutton and all that shit. Yeah. LT is a flunky for Pop. I mean, flunky for Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
If he ended up with anything to do with that movie and money to do it, it was from Snoop Dogg's bag. Secret private investor. All this shit just was like a big, a plot to just undermine Pop and water his shit down because they're still living and they can't, most of them can't fucking stand the fucking impact that he has on society and how people love him and he's dead and gone still and still, they have mediocre success. So with the money they do have, they're finding other ways to just, man, this is, when people say the Illuminati and all that shit, it is certain they give it too much credit on the when they say the devil shit and all this.
Yeah.
I don't think it's literally Satan, but it's things like this to where you could actually say, fuck this man's soul and do deals knowing that you really didn't like him and set it up in a way to where it looks like you have nothing to do with it and all basically his enemies and people who was looking at him sideways, they prosper. Everybody that loved him, including his family, is bitter and not fulfilled that the movie that the public waited on all his life, through all the struggle of his mother, through everything he was connected to, through how big that could have been of impact to our culture. They squandered it away for some shit people aren't even talking about it months later.
Dude, it went to Blu-ray within like 2 weeks.
It's like, insane. Man, come on, man. And while they're smiling twice because they got the check and they got to bury him again.
Yeah. Yeah, no, trust me, dude, I feel what you're saying. I know there's a lot of shit that you won't be able to talk about in the interview. But if you want to talk about that, we can. It just depends, man. I know it's probably not good to go after Snoop Dogg. What do you think about that? That's bad for business.
I'm not going after anybody. I don't have to say his name.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But as far as LT goes, he ain't that smart.
Yeah, it's like, well, yeah. Going after getting everybody else because your movie wasn't successful like you thought it would be isn't good business anyway. And anybody that's ran a successful lemonade stand understands that about business.
Yeah, I don't want to rock the boat.
Yeah, I feel you.
I just want to, express my thoughts on the Fox interview.
Okay.
And we'll go from there. You already know, like, once I get going, there ain't no telling what the hell I might say.
Yes, sir. Dude, they're the most entertaining. I'll give you that. You have an entertainment value to you, man. For real. But when do you want to do it?
Whenever you discharge and have a minute, I'm around. So just let me know and give me an hour or two heads up, and we'll get it done. I appreciate it.
I want to let you know something before we get off here. Dude, ever since 2012, for the last 5 years, you've always been real down to earth and always did interviews with me, and I want to let you know I rock with you, dude. A lot of these people that come on my channel are fake, and they only come when there's a motive. You did interviews with me when nobody knew who the fuck I was, and I'll never forget that, and I appreciate that.
My God, man, I appreciate you for acknowledging that, man, and thank you for, for always having me on here.
No, it's my pleasure.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna watch that special again on my phone just so I can get that bad taste in my mouth again, and I'll have some good questions for you. But as soon as I know something, I'll let you know and we'll set it up.
All right, thank you.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
What up, shut up?